The recession is here, and the Fed rate cut's only going to hurt. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, September the 8th. And of course, had a massive down week in the indexes and the markets. A little bit of fear, a little bit of a panic. We'll get to that in our market update. But the recession is here. Look at the jobs numbers from Friday. Look at what's going on. But of course, nobody wants to identify or recognize that we do have a recession. But the signals and the signs are absolutely as clear as they can possibly be. Payroll, the jobs, prices, earning power. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can ignore it, okay, or you can continue to hide from it, or you can continue to do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, the indicators are very strong. And of course, it will say the bottom 80%, okay, or maybe 90% of people are in a recession. And of course, that's been Darden Restaurants has said that they no longer get the $70,000 to $80,000 a year earning customer. They're now getting the $200,000 to $250,000 a year customer, which just tells you that the middle class can't afford to live anymore. Prices continue to rise. And of course, this rate cut that they're talking about on September 18th is going to do nothing more than spike inflation higher. Okay, this is no longer an issue of whether or not there's going to be a rate cut, and it is not bullish now. Now it is signaling that there's a recession. Okay, and of course, think about it this way. Okay, if they do stimulate spending, if people can't afford to spend more, which is highly unlikely, your goods and services are going to be more expensive, which means that you'll be suffering from the hidden tax of inflation, because everything that you buy at the store is taxed with federal tax on it. So if the prices are higher, then think about why they're not so concerned about the recession, as the inflation, as much as they talk about it, because you're paying more tax when you buy goods and services. It's a very simple equation, okay? It is known as the hidden tax of inflation. So again, you take it for what it's worth. You don't agree? Hey, what do I care? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm telling you what facts are. I'm telling you what dollars and cents are. Okay, that is up to you to decide if you choose to believe. And of course, I do agree with Elon Musk, okay, who said that Trump must win. Civilization is on the line. Now, again, I'm not a Republican nor a Democrat. And as you know, if you have listened and you use the effective listening skill and sometimes get your biases out of your ass, you'll know that I don't think either side is any good. I think they're all criminals, okay? But I do think that at this particular time, we do need somebody like a President Trump to kind of straighten away the damage that has been done by the progressives, by the AOCs of the world, and what we've seen done to this country, okay? Maybe you're happy with what's been done to this country. I personally am not. I'm tired of watching my money flow out to Ukraine. I'm tired of having China grab more control in this country. I'm tired of it all, okay? And if you're happy with it, hey, I can't tell you how to think. I think this is one of the big problems we have in this country, is that people can't have a discussion. Look what's going on with Brittany Mahomes and Taylor Swift, okay? Because Brittany Mahomes decided to support Trump, and of course Swift is a Democrat, which is fine. I don't care what you are. One of my very best friends is a lefty. Okay, doesn't affect us from having a good time. Doesn't affect us from having a discussion. Okay. In the meantime, again, you have to at least open up your mind, because you are becoming a cult, which we'll talk about more in our commentary. But again, as I said, the recession indicators are here. Again, you can choose to ignore them, but again, you'll find out when you get so deep in debt that there's going to be nobody to bail you out. You're not a bank. You're not too big to fail. So keep that in mind. But I think, they won't call it a real recession yet. But of course, they never call it a recession until it's too late. It's already over. Interesting study. Harvard and Columbia rank as the worst colleges for free speech. Now, you know that I've been on this for a couple of years, that we continue to lose the opportunity and the ability to have free speech. Now, again, I'm not a fan of hate speech. I'm not a fan of a lot of things that are said out there, but I do believe that you should have the right to speak your mind. on social media, and if you have a conservative views, and I think that's one of the biggest problems with our media is there's too many media outlets that have one side or the other. Okay, we don't get the news, and again, the conservative side of the aisle continues to get blocked on social media, continues to get things taken away from them because they don't have the ability in the same vein as the left does. I mean, again, that's just pretty clear. That's pretty simple. We are a more of a liberal society. Our kids are brought up as liberal. Okay. And I have no problem, but I don't think there's a lot of things I don't think mix with politics. Okay. And I don't think that your social issues should be mixed with the politics. I think it should be a money issue. But again, that's just me. But we're now watching in live time, Oregon reverses its liberal drug law because they lost a generation to addiction. Now, again, why are we making drug laws so liberal? Why are we letting criminals out of jail? Why are we continuing to see the cartels and gangs of illegal immigrants take over places in Texas and in Denver? Okay, again, aren't you concerned about the illegal immigration? Do you want to be a fear for your life? Do you want to watch a repeat of what happened during the gangster era? Okay, again, do you think this can happen again? I mean, you're seeing these violent acts by these illegals, and of course, your administration keeps letting them out of jail. Okay, again, think about that. Do you not want law and order in this country? Do you like walking around the streets when they can just shoot you? Do you like what happened in Georgia? And certainly my condolences and thoughts and prayers go out to all those families. I mean, again, you look at the things that are going on and the violence in this country. Okay, again, I'm not saying whose fault it is, but certainly I cannot remember ever the amount of hatred and violence I am witnessing over the last 3 years. Okay, and I'm not saying it never happened before. I just don't remember it myself. Okay, I cannot remember witnessing it. And of course, and one of the big things here are the polls. One has Harris winning, one has Trump winning. Somebody said Trump's got a 61% lead. Look, it's all bullshit. Okay, it is all designed to play with your fucking head and make you think one thing or another. Okay, and again, this is the brainwashing of America, which is part of our commentary as well. So we'll get into that later. But again, you have to learn that the news people are not your friend. They do not have your best interest at heart. They have their interest of getting the highest rating so they can make more money. Okay. And I think that you look at many corporations are finally giving up on the DEI, diversity programs, because they're not right. This is no different than the free market system. See, if we would let the systems take care of themselves, eventually they would weed out, okay? But we don't, and this is another problem. And for example, in the banking system, in 2008, they should have let the banks go broke, bailed out the depositors, and allow new banks to come in that were more fiscally responsible, that didn't have the ability to steal billions of dollars, go broke, get bailed out by the Federal Reserve, which is bailed out by you, the American taxpayer, and then reoperate and redo the same thing once again. Because make no mistake, it's going to happen again. We're going to get another banking crisis, and it'll be maybe sooner rather than later. We don't know yet. We'll see. Okay. But again, the big jobs, negative revisions. What do we say? We've said that every week here. Again, none of this is a surprise here. Okay. None of this is a surprise to what's going on. Of course, what are the odds of Jack Smith convicting Trump? My opinion, 0. Okay. But this is the Democrats, the left's attempt to break Donald Trump, not to really put him in jail, but to take all his money and keep his eye off the ball from campaigning. Okay. Now, again, I don't care whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump. Do you like the fact that a political opponent can continually go after their opponent, okay, to put them in jail, or the threat of, okay, to win an election? That's the real question you have to ask yourself. Not whether or not he did anything wrong or not, but is it the right thing to have one political party to have control, to try to force out the other side just to win an election? Okay. I think that, the nation is sleepwalking in this migrant crisis. I mean, do you realize what's going on? We talked about the gangs, we talked about the money, and of course the jobs. I go back to, I'll give you the stat that I've given you a couple of weeks in a row. 2021, since that point, 66% of all jobs have gone to illegal immigrants, 33% to Americans, and of the 33%, 50% have gone to government jobs. Now, you know that government jobs don't make any money, except if you can steal it like the politicians. Government jobs, we're paying for them. And what are they doing? Okay, what are they doing to create whatever it is now, $38 trillion in debt? You tell me. Okay, do we need more government workers? We don't need more government workers. We need more policemen, police women. We need more protection. We need more law and order in this country. That's what we need. Okay, and of course, we'll see what happens in the economy. We're obviously 60 days away or so, and something's going to happen here. And I don't know. I mean, you know who I like. I don't make it any secret, but I like him because I think that he's fair and square as a businessman, and I think this country needs to be run like a business. But that's just one man's opinion. Bubba's Bottom Line, top of boards. We're going to step out here for a break. We'll be back with more in our market report after the break. What's up, kids? Well, again, as you know, I have sponsors, and of course, they're brokerage sponsors. And again, listen, I have many brokers. I've been doing this for a long time. And again, I find what I think is best for my people. And I think these two brokers are best. Now, again, I'm not telling you to switch. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm telling you to check them out to see if it works for you. Okay. And of course, one is Capital Trading Group, which does all of our letter of direction trading. We're a partner with them on a couple of products. But they take care of my customers and my members. And what do I care about? I want my members to be taken care of. I don't want to go through trying to get through to a broker with a problem and they don't answer the phone. Okay, that's just my view. Anyways, it's Capital Trading Group. You can see their website on the side here, and of course, TRADIER Brokerage, $10 a month flat. Okay, they got a big webinar coming up on September the 18th. $10 a month flat. Okay, they automate with us, so we can auto trade for you. And our auto trading is free with the exception of our hedging, which is a licensing fee. But either way, you don't have to worry about it. You can take care of yourself. But TRADIER scrolling on the side, and of course our high school program. Okay. Again, we're trying to educate people financially because it's really sad what's going on right now in this country. But check it out. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horwitz. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, September the 8th. And of course, markets got pounded last week. And, listen, it wasn't a surprise. I think it's a surprise at how much they went down, from Tuesday through Friday. But again, I think we're going lower. But I do expect, and just again, I'll be very clear, I don't hide from you guys. I expect a rally at some point this week, and probably a pretty vicious rally. I don't think we're going up. I think we are headed lower now. But I do think there will be some very big rallies, as always happens. So just be careful. And again, don't get caught up. And I think one thing you got to watch right now is how high the volatility is. It's very hard. When the volatility gets so high, you can almost expect a rally in the market to pull down the volatility back into some mean. But in the meantime, in the markets coming in tomorrow, we will be short everything but the Dow, and that's obviously not too far away. But we will be short everything but the Dow. And remember, these are not necessarily my open positions tomorrow. Okay, these will be our positions as they should be based on the long term. But of course, yesterday on Saturday, we introduced a whole bunch of new stuff. So make sure you check that out as well. In the meantime, in the dollar, we don't trade the dollar anymore. And again, it has nothing to do with my disdain for the dollar. It has everything to do with the cost and what we have to pay New York to pay for it. So screw it. But we would be long dollars, okay, short euro currency, notes and bonds and notes, long both, which does indicate that rates may be dropping, but we would be long both. Bitcoin, we are long, it's really long based off an oversold condition. Gold long, silver short, and copper short. Copper short, platinum, which we don't trade anymore, but we would be short. In the meats, cattle, I am still short. Hogs, I am still long. Again, that we don't trade them anymore, but that's just I'm playing a numbers game, so to speak, with those. The grain markets, we are long across the board in the grain markets right now. And I think that tomorrow will be a very huge day, or the next couple days, because if they can break a little higher after Friday's selling, they could trigger a short covering rally, which I think they really need. But in the meantime, in crude we are short. Okay, natural gas we would be short, and when I see the reaction, there's a little cold snap this weekend, so I'd like to see what's going to happen, tonight and tomorrow. But again, I think in natural gas, although we're shorted or would be shorted, whether we're flat, but I think it's a potential play if it gets down again, especially as we go into this time of year, which I've mentioned many times before. And of course, in the softs, we don't trade them anymore, but we would be short cocoa, sugar, cotton, long coffee, long OJ. Again, we don't trade anymore, so again, I'm not tracking them as close as I used to. But again, I just think you should be careful this week, and I think that you will see a very high probability of a little bit of a rally. Again, a rally is a selling opportunity. That's the way that I look at it. So I'd be looking to sell into any rally that shows up. But in the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, Top Up Horrors. We're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with our commentary and, of course, our football picks. It is football season. Bubba's Bottom Line. Well, kids, again, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel with you, but I am going to tell you that I want you to check out these brokerage partners of ours. I do have other brokers, but I do want you to check them out. And I think you should check out TRADIER Brokerage and Capital Trading Group on the sides. Check them out. And, of course, our high school program. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, our commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, September the 8th. And, of course, every week I give you a little commentary, give you something to think about. And, of course, my question this week is, have we turned into a cult? Is the Democratic Party or the United States of America becoming Jamestown? Are we becoming the Nazi Party? Because certainly we can't have a conversation with anybody if it has anything to do with politics. I mean, certainly you see the fighting and the yelling and the screaming. Even I referenced earlier the Taylor Swift and the Brittany Mahomes, which is not that they're not talking, it's just that they're not talking. Okay, it's not that they had anything violent that went on, but I think you got to think about the way that the news is reported and the way things are. Okay, everything always started out. The Jamestown, if you remember the massacre in Jamestown with all the people that committed suicide, cult. Okay, the Hare Krishna cult. The Nazi Party turned out to be a cult. Okay, again, everything starts out so innocently, but if you don't pay attention to what's going on and you continue to just go along like sheep and don't think about it, okay, you could end up in another position. And again, listen, I'm not telling you either party is right. You know that I think they're all criminals, okay? But I think it's up to the American people, very similar to what was in 1776, okay, to take control. And the only way you can take control is to talk, figure it out, and find ways to better get along with everybody, because the division that has been created over the last 3 years or 4 years is ridiculous. Okay. And the continuing battling against trying to put one person in jail who's a competitor of another person is ridiculous. But hey, if you're happy with living without freedom of speech, if you're happy with living in a cult, if you're happy not being able to express your true opinion, okay, if you're happy following along and watching this country get destroyed, then don't do anything about it. But if you would like to see and get back to some real freedoms that you had 20 years ago, 30 years ago, because this is not new. This is not just this particular party. This has been going on year after year. But at some point, if you care about your children, your grandchildren, or if you're young enough, your own life, then there's time to do something, and we need something to change. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Top Up Horror, which of course it is football Sunday. We do like Tennessee against the Bears, okay? And we like, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. We like the Vikings against the Giants, okay? And we like the Commanders against the Buccaneers. In the meantime, Have a great weekend, everybody. As always, I thank you. We'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.